Hi, Mr. Buisson. I hope you're going well. Here is my presentation. What is crisis management? Let me give you the definition. Crisis management is the process by which an organization deals with a major unpredictable events that threatens the organization, its stakeholders, or the general public. As the former President of the Republic of France, Jacques Chirac, once said, crises are things that happen regularly. The great advantage is we come out strengthened. Several organizations are making headlines. Sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's negative. When it's positive, consumers are happy but they quickly forget. On the other hand, when an organization makes headlines for the bad reason, people have a much harder time forgetting. So a business can quickly sink and go bankrupt. Why an organization survive and another disappear? It's because the organization had a strong and adequate crisis management. Crisis management in an organization is crucial and often overlooked by managers. 58% of marketing directors were already involved in managing a crisis. 82% of international consumers will consider abandoning a brand associated to a partner or a supplier who has experienced a crisis in opposition to their value. Hi everyone, my name is Francis Gauthier. I'm a full-time student at HEC Montréal and I also work for IGA. I was part of the organization Crisis Management Committee. In 2014, a major crisis exploded over the fact that the meat department was repackaging. Some employees identified fresh dates of the day on products that were sometimes expired. Of course, I'm going to talk about crisis management, but how do we do that? First of all, there is 4 different steps to develop a crisis management plan. Then, social network. What's their impact on a crisis? Finally, we will analyze 2 organizations who have experienced a major crisis, Volkswagen and Desjardins. The purpose of this plan is to minimize the impact of the crisis on sales, profit, but the most important thing, reputation. A crisis will also have a significant impact on people's minds and influence the act of purchasing. The first step of the plan is to create a crisis management team. The team must be made up of the best elements of the organization. Then, the teams need to work on intensive brainstorming session on the potential crisis that could occur to the organization. In this way, it's possible to take action immediately to avoid some problems. It is also advisable to make scenarios for each of the potential crises: pessimistic, realistic, optimistic. Why are we doing this now? It's because this step is difficult to do under the pressure of a crisis. The second step, the team need to evaluate the scale of the crisis. When it comes to evaluating the crisis, you must be quickly be able to know the magnitude of the situation because an action delayed in times can quickly amplify the problem. Also, you need to start thinking about spokesperson. It is important to have spokesperson who disseminate the same information on the different communication channels. The third step is to act. Choices must be prioritized and effective. We must keep an eye on our action over time and see the direct impact on the crisis. We must bounce back on our action to be able to secure consumer and restore the situation. The fourth step is the most important one. This step has a significant impact on the entire stages of a crisis management plan. I remember when I was at IGA. I was a little bit nervous, the news was out and it was everywhere, and the pressure was on us. I also remember that this step was the first PowerPoint slide of my manager. It was two very important words. Don't panic. When we panic, we never make good decisions. Also, panicking can have a huge impact on the entire crisis management team. It is not an easy task to do, but it's important to stay calm in a situation of crisis so the entire team can be able to find the appropriate measure. Now, let's talk about social media. Are they good or bad in a situation of crisis? 65% of companies that have suffered a reputation crisis believe that social media has made the crisis more difficult to manage. Of course, the reach of a message on social network is exponential and an organization quickly lose control. Managing a crisis on social media is not an easy thing to do. Luckily, there is several software that allow us to trace comments and messages on our organization in every social networks. With these tools, an organization can act quickly. Managing social network in a proper way can do something to boost the reputation of the organization and so can be another very effective way to restore a crisis situation. Now, if I say Dieselgate, or if I say data thief, which organization am I referring to? Of course, the first one is Volkswagen. Volkswagen experienced a major crisis in 2014. Did they survive? Yes, but it was not easy because they made a fundamental mistake right at the very beginning, and it's lying. They quickly denied the news and they said they had committed no fraud. They were eventually found guilty and confessed to having software that was capable of cheating carbon dioxide control. Volkswagen market share decreased by 40%. The second one is Desjardins. Desjardins experienced a major crisis in 2019 with the significant data thief of more than 4 million members. Have they managed to get out of the crisis? Yes, they did, and much easier than Volkswagen. Why? Because they were transparent, and this transparency is essential in a crisis situation. They were also proactive in all their decisions, which means that Quebecers now still have confidence in the organization. In conclusion, let me briefly restate the main point of what we have seen together today. First, crisis management is very important for an organization. You must be able to identify the key player in the crisis management committee and develop a detailed plan to be able to quickly regain control. Second, social network can help, but it's very important to lead them well. Third, be transparent. Tell the truth. One way or another, the truth will always come out. If you are the owner of an organization and you have no plan to deal with a possible crisis, I strongly recommend you to get started. I would like to finish with an inspirational quote by Jean Monnet. Men only act in state of necessity, and usually only recognize the necessity in a situation of crisis. This quote has never been more true than today. Thank you.